The numbers on the Supreme Court already, plus this 7. Is it that in the shortest possible time, we're going to see some of them fade out or phase out of the system due to age and, of course, their retirement? Or are we just packing the bench?
Thank you, Nana. When I saw the list yesterday, I only smiled. And I said politicians will always fall on their own dagger.
Right.
I smiled because the NDC in opposition has been on the neck of Akufo-Addo for packing the courts. So if the court is full and it's still being packed, why are you now nominating 7 at a go? If the court is indeed packed, okay?
Yeah.
I'm talking about what the politicians do. Yeah. For which reason these nice people who have worked for so many years will now be seen as NDC people.
Yeah.
Because of the comments of the person who appointed them and the party in government, the things they did. The minority held several press conferences attacking the Akufo-Addo for packing the courts. Okay? President Mahama is on record to have said that the courts are been packed with MPP people, and that if NDC comes to power, he will balance it and make sure that he also appoints the NDC people to the bench. So now that you are appointing people, it means that the people you are appointing directly are NDC people. You understand it?
That's the interpretation.
Yes, no, by his own comment, by President Mahama's own comment, he is doing the appointment. And by the things he has said in the past, when he was in opposition. And these are the reasons why sometimes I always say that if we can tone down on the unbridled partisanship in our system and rather focus on the issues, it will help all of us. But because we are politicians and want power, and everything we want to find a political reason to attack it, when you come to power, you'll be found wanting because you realize that your partisanship was needless because what has to be done has to be done. That is where I'm starting from. And it's unfortunate that these judges, people who accuse them that they are NDC people, I don't know their party colors, I don't know which party they belong to. But because the person appointed them has said that the bench has been packed with NPP people, and that when it's given a time, you balance the bench. And that the NDC people should be ready to also go onto the bench. By the comment that he's the one who is making an appointment have made in the past, people can now make allusions that, okay, then now he's appointing the NDC people to the bench. I think that we should be learning from these things and diverting ourselves from it. Let's look at the realities on the ground. And then when issues come up, let's take time and look at the facts. Let's speak to the facts. We are building a nation. We are not building an NPP or we are not building NDC. We are building Ghana as a nation. So when certain things happen and you even want to criticize, you can criticize, but try and remove the partisanship from it. And we will all be better off. I personally don't have any problem with the appointment with these people to the Supreme Court. The reason I don't have any problem is that it is just a justification of what Justice Getto was trying to do. And it's one of the grounds for her removal as we speak, to remove her. Justice Tokon had requested that she needed 5 more Supreme Court justices. It became topical, attacks from party, and then later I saw a paper she wrote explaining why the Supreme Court needs more judges. She actually listed the number of pending cases at the Supreme Court and listed a number of Supreme Court judges and pointed out that even if she empanels all the Supreme Court judges and they are to sit even 7 days a week, the backlog that is there will still not be cleared for a long time.
Right.
And these are human beings. They are not remote to sit 7 days a week, so they can't sit 7 days a week. So she made the argument that whilst the public is complaining that justice delivery is delaying, for which reason people are losing confidence in the justice delivery system, she sees an opportunity that if the nation can increase the number of Supreme Court judges so that the pending cases, the backlog of cases, they can have enough people sit and dispose of these cases, is one way of bringing public confidence into the system. So she needed 5 more. And even more than that. And she even made the point that even the 5 she requested for is not enough. It's just the beginning point. But the system needs to do something for the public to know that you don't need to file a case at the Supreme Court and 3-4 years and the case is there. It is there because the number of judges who are to deal with these cases are few. And the number of cases people have found, constitutional issues that at the Supreme Court are so huge that if they don't do anything about the numbers at the Supreme Court, okay, the petty cases cannot be cleared. This is what Justice Tokono tried doing. Professor Azan, who has actually filed against for her removal based on that, did not make the argument that the Supreme Court does not need a number of more people. I've not heard that. His point is that Justice Tokono didn't follow due process in terms of how this request should be made to the office of the president, and so Justice Professor Azan's call for Tokono's removal is not about the request for more judges. It's about the process and procedure, which I think he has he has every right to do. But the question is, if indeed the argument that Tokono has made is valid and that we need more people at the Supreme Court in order to be able to dispose of all these cases and make the Supreme Court very effective so that anytime cases come, they don't delay that much at the Supreme Court. The question is, if that is valid and genuine, if the process is wrong, can we correct the process without removing her? That is the question I want to ask. So I am saying that I don't have any problem with President Mahama appointing more people this, because when I read what Justice Tokono put out there as reasons for the need for more judges, I agreed with her. Because we be in this country where you file one case at the Supreme Court and for 4 years the case is pending. And when you look at the number of cases she listed as being pending cases, and only these few judges are the same people that will need to sit on all these cases, it's clear that the Supreme Court actually may need even more than 30 judges at this point in time if we really want to be able to speedily deal with all the backlog and the new cases that will come. And we should understand that because of our constitution and the way it is framed, every single constitutional interpretation case goes straight to the Supreme Court. It doesn't go to appeals court. It doesn't go to high court and appeal before the Supreme Court. It goes straight. So many things that because we are running a hybrid constitution, which you will not say that, oh, in America they said this, or in the UK, we said it's a hybrid. So there's so many loopholes in our constitution where we all agree that the interpretations are not that clear. And example is actually the removal of the CJ. Which the Supreme Court itself said as far back as 2020 that that discretionary power needs rules to govern how the president exercises it. And from 2020 till now, we've really done anything. So me, appointment to the Supreme Court at this point in time, having seen all that argument that Justice Tokono has made, I think President Mahama is right. He's just confirming that Tokono's attempt to get more judges to the Supreme Court was the right thing to do. And I think that is how we should build a nation. If the problem is there and want to fix it, let's fix it. So if Tokono has made that argument that we need more, and President Mahama has come and is appointing more, I agree. I agree 100%. But my only problem is that when you make political comments about things like that, and now you are the one appointing people, then you give us, the public, the opportunity to criticize you, that you are the same person who was criticizing this in the past. But why are you doing the same now? So it's like you are following on your own dagger. So let's be careful.